Hey, welcome to a new all of the above budget movie review. And this time I want to talk about John Wick. We all know Keanu Reeves. Um, he started out as a bit of a goofy actor, and when he went to do The Matrix, uh, I think then he became a real action hero. I love the Matrix movies, so I will do those in the future. Um, But John Wick, yeah, they really touched me. Not John Wick himself, because then I would be dead, I think. But I liked the movie. It was a cool revenge movie. It had a lot of action, a lot of kills, and it was fast paced. And it only took, well, I think it's the shortest one of four. Because I think every time there is a new part, it gets longer. So, but I love the first part. It had a good story and it had a lot of good action scenes. I loved it. Um, then came chapter two. Um, after he got his revenge, he was pulled back into this life of being a hitman, and from here on out, it starts to follow up in the other movies. But yeah, John Wick was a success, and my first thought was, well, they finished the movie, the first one, and it's done. They couldn't go anywhere, but they did. They made a second movie with all of the things you can expect: the action, yeah, John Wick, of course, the dialogue, and the world. There's the bigger world growing behind John Wick. Um, yeah, I loved it, and it's followed up by Parabellum. Because at the end of part two, something happens that kicks in part three, and in part three, he gets hunted by almost or every hitman um, around. He has a big bounty on his head, and he has to flee all those hitmen. So we get more action, more Keanu Reeves, more stunts, more cars, more action. Did I say action? Because there's a lot of action, a lot of guns, a lot of bullets, a lot of knives, a lot of blood. Um, yeah, that's almost what we expect in John Wick. Um, I liked part two, one and two better. I didn't hate part three, but at this moment, something new should happen. So then this year, part four came out. Yeah, John Wick Part Four, and I liked the movie, but it's not the best in the four. I found because, like I said, every movie gets longer, but this one's the longest, and for my taste, a bit too long. It wraps up nice, so if they don't make any John Wick movies after this, I'm okay with it. Um, yeah, but I think as long as there's money in there will be a John Wick 5, or some spin off or something. Because that's what movies are all about these days, making money. So let's make money, right? Yeah, so I love the action, I love the movie, and yeah, I just finished watching them almost back to back in 2 days. So I still have the story fresh in my mind, and I love the you can watch it as one big movie because literally ties in to the whole story. So when you end on four, for me the story ended. The story that started in part one and two. Uh, yeah, the yeah. Most of it started in part one, but part one was his own story. It was the revenge, and we see a little of the world where Wick lived in and lives in. But part two opened that world right up, and it held on to that world until part four, and like one big continuous movie. So I'm curious if there will be a John Wick 5, um, but I hope this is the end. Because what will John Wick 5 be? A 4 hour movie where we see him shooting and killing a lot of people? 4 hours long. Movies get to be are getting longer these days. So I hope they keep it at four and maybe do a spin off and do some other person or yeah, but I think it's done. But that's my opinion. What is your opinion? Let me know. And if you like this, like, subscribe, and hope to see you next time. Thank you for listening.